Let's get into some more exciting stuff. Let's get into the news. How about it? All right, let's get into some heckin' news. Quite a few ththings happen here going into the final week of spring training as we get ready. News. I'm going to try to develop my skill at getting quickly through these things and just hitting them. All right?
Let's get into the news.
So our first little piece of news here. There was a great piece of content I saw on Instagram. David Sampson, a journalist from the CBS Sports, went on the Pablo Torre show and posed this question. Should the World Series be played at a neutral site, rotating like the All-Star game? Now, trust me, I know a lot of you are going to have strong visceral reactions to this, but hear me out. Hear me out. He was speaking from a business sense, and he likes it for a few reasons, right? One, neutral site allows you to not need to do all the travel, so all the days off and stuff can be less, right? All the travel wear and tear on the players, the teams, and the fans can be a little bit easier, right? You can stay in the same place for a long period of time. That is a pro. I would say that's a pro, right? I understand that home field advantage is a much bigger pro in the other way, but that is a pro. Two, the reason the Super Bowl entire presentation is so great is because they have so much time to prepare in advance, and baseball can't do that. They don't know who's going to be in it until a few days before, so it's just kind of baseball. They can never do anything bigger than what they would normally do in regular season, and I'm very interested in knowing what else could we do if we had more time to prepare and build the apparatus and build around the place. Also, you can rotate it so World Series are in cities that never have had one before. That is also an interesting idea to me. But that's kind of where the pros end. The cons are obvious, right? One, no home field advantage. The fans deserve a home field advantage. The home field thing is important. Having the stadium filled with mostly one fan type from side to side, that is a big advantage in baseball, and I believe that is part of what makes the game special. So that's probably a no from me, dog. Though I am interested, just from a business standpoint, in the neutral site thing, just because there are some interesting things you can do with that. But it will turn into a corporation fest, probably, just like kind of the All-Star game does, and maybe we keep it there. Fortunately for you guys, this was a poll on my Instagram community. That is Mayday Baseball is Alive. Join it if you're not in there yet. That's TrevMay65 on Instagram. And this is what you guys thought. Yeah, you agree. I believe, what's that say? 454 of the 500 of you said nah. So it's about 90%. Yeah, about 88% of applicants said no. So I think we're good. I don't think we need to discuss this no more. But I thought it was an interesting premise, and I want to bring it to you. All right, news. This is Cal Raleigh. You may have heard of him. He now has 23 home runs, and Randy Arozarena also singled home a game-winning run in the ninth inning to give a 2-1 victory over the Minnesota Twins on Sunday, taking them one game ahead of the Minnesota Twins in the standings. But that's pretty impressive. Cal Raleigh, 23 home runs. It is June. He is on pace for 50-something? I don't remember the last time a catcher hit 50-something. I don't think a catcher ever has hit 50-something, but he is turning into quite the legend. Raleigh walloped a curveball in the seventh from starter Chris Paddock, who had thrown a very good game up to that point, and finished 8 really strong innings, which he needed really badly, and he also struck out 10 along the way. But Cal Raleigh is the first Mariners player with at least 10 home runs in each of the first 2 months of the season since Nelson Cruz did in 2016. The catcher became the first Seattle Mariner to do it back-to-back months since Alex Rodriguez in 1999. What? Anytime you share a record with Alex Rodriguez, I think you're doing pretty good. All right, so Cal Raleigh, keep on swinging it, playa. Garrett Crochet absolutely shoved, striking out 12 in 7 innings as the Red Sox blow past the Braves 3-1. Trevor Story also hit a 3-run double to score all 3 runs and that's all Crochet needed to take them to the finish line. Crochet's hitting a little bit too. That's another positive for that group of guys. And Crochet's looking like that ace that they paid for. And he's currently tied with Mackenzie Gore for the lead league in strikeouts with 101. I will drink to that. Water. It's water. Just water. Moving on. Max Muncy, 3 home run game, 18-2 win over the Yankees on Saturday. Then they dropped the final game to the Yankees on Sunday, but we're not talking about that one. 7 RBIs, though. Keep it. You know, a little grain of salt. One of them was on a off a position player. So, not a great day for Will Warren. He needed 39 pitches in the first after giving up 4 runs, and then the Muncy then took him deep for his 200th home run. The Yankees are really good, and so are the Dodgers really good. And can there be a repeat World Series matchup? We'll talk about that a little bit later. Moving on. Jac Caglianone, I repeat. No, sorry, I said it incorrectly. God, I thought I had this. Jac Caglianone has been called up by the Kansas City Royals. The two-way prospect out of first rounder out of University of Florida is now going to be in the show. The 6'5", 250-pound unit is coming up, bringing us 15 AAA home runs to the big leagues. He's coming up for a team that is really struggling to score any runs. So, one thing to pay attention to: how much does Jack press here at the beginning, because it's a team that desperately needs offense, but he is a 22-year-old that is going to be really excited about trying to hit home runs in a park that's not easy to hit home runs in, so just pay attention. But watching that guy walk out on the field is intimidating enough because he's an absolute monster. Aren't you 6'5", 250? Actually, I'm 6'5", 270 in not good weight. So, Jac Caglianone. It's also, don't be surprised if you're reading his name, there's a random N in the middle. Right before the own part, there's an N. It says none at the end. Don't pronounce that N. You're welcome, all right?
Scott, you need to check out this Roback hoodie I have. It's 85 plus degrees here in Florida. Look, lightweight, feels great, cool colors, perfect for those hot Florida days.
I agree, AJ. Color looks fire. And you can get your own sweatshirt, polo, hoodie. Go check out Roback. And if you do and you're a first-time customer, Roback.com using the code FOUL gets you 20% off your first purchase. RHOBACK.com, code FOUL. Get after it, FT fam.
Moving on. Not so good news. Corbin Burnes came out of his recent start with some elbow discomfort, forced to leave the game top of the 5th when he felt tightness in his elbow. Not a good sign. He said there was no one pitch. It just kind of slowly built up over time, and is going to get an MRI today. He might have already had it done to determine what actually is going on. When asked for his level of concern, Diamondbacks manager Torey Lovullo said he was going to remain optimistic, but said his concern was not minimal at this point, which means no. When the training staff came out, you could see his lips moving. That is Corbin's lips moving, and said, "My elbow's done. It's dead." We have that for you right here. We might need John Boy to help us out with this one. My elbow's gone. It's dead. That was dang. I don't like that at all. So I'm hoping for the best, but that looked like a resigned Corbin Burnes, and for a 4th place Arizona Diamondbacks team that is trying to claw back into the playoff race here, because they are still pretty good. Losing your ace is not a good thing, especially if it's going to be for a year. So hopefully, thoughts and prayers, obviously, and hopefully, I'm thinking about you, Corbin. I hope you're all right. I hope it's nothing. I hope it's a little flexor guy and you get to get back out there. Sometimes it is, but that didn't give me a lot of hope for the future. But a little bit more of a positive thing. Chris Sale, fastest ever to 2,500 strikeouts. Gumby is ridiculous. We used to call him Gumby because he's absolutely made of rubber. Just look at his mechanics here. The guy was not hurt for like his first 9 years in the big leagues. So fastest ever to reach 2,500 strikeouts as he took down the Philadelphia Phillies 9-3 on Thursday night. Out dueling Zach Wheeler, who had a little bit of a struggly day. Edmundo Sosa ended up being the 2,500 strikeout, and he did it in 2026. 6 innings. So here's a quote from Sale. I love reading these. I appreciate it for what it is, but I try not to get too caught up in stuff like that right now. I know what our job is, and no matter whether you have a good one or a bad one, the next one is the most important one. Well said. I hope that he just said that to the media and he's actually celebrating the background, because one of my biggest regrets when I played baseball was not actually celebrating the things that I did well enough, and constantly always just looking forward to the next thing. Just ask Shaq. He can't stop because he just can't enjoy things. His words, not mine. He joins 3 other guys that are currently in the big leagues with over 2,500 strikeouts. The other 3 are, as you know, Clayton Kershaw, Max Scherzer, and Justin Verlander. What a group to be a part of. So congratulations, Chris, on that. And finally, the Major League Baseball is purchasing an equity stake in the Athletes Unlimited Softball League. They also run a volleyball league and a basketball league, I believe. Partnering with the fledgling league as it prepared for first 4-team season, plans to expand to future years. This is a professional softball league. My sister was a 4-year college softball player who might have been able to play beyond college had she stuck with it, but it wasn't an option at that time. So I think this is awesome, because a softball player, there are some stud softball players. The chick from, I think, Oklahoma, who's hit 7,000 home runs, and she gets walked with the bases loaded like Barry Bonds, she could play. And I really want to see her play. For the MLB, now owns more than 20% of the league, which I think is amazing. So, and women's professional sports has recently passed $1 billion in revenues across all of them. We can thank the WNBA for that. So I love that investment is being put where it should be put, in growing markets. And honestly, softball's electric. There's a chick throwing 107 billion miles an hour, breaking records. It's tough. If you ever need to know how hard softball is to hit, just go watch Jenny Fitch just absolutely destroy Albert Pujols. That's on YouTube if you want to see it. And that is the league. That is everything that has happened around the league. That is the news.